Good morning, folks. It is Thursday morning. It's 3 minutes to 10. And I've been out a couple of times, but it's just, let me show you. You see the sun's only just got over that tree. Only just got sun on the solar panel here, the main panel, the productive panel. Tina, you're a monster. You were told to stay inside. Here's my girl. She's been disobedient. This panel's had the sun on it a little bit longer actually, and I did just have the other panel suspended on the top of the chair here for a little while, because we had sun here but not here, just because of the shape of the tree. But you see, just inside the doorway, it's all wet. Where the sun is on the tent, it's dried now, but if we look elsewhere, hopefully you can see the condensation, like on the top of the hot chocolate. Whoop, the spoon's huge. On the top of the hot chocolate bottle's not the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? Jar, I guess. It's a plastic jar. There's a monster. Hey babe. But yeah, I think you can see, look, over here on the table. That's what you get when you get a night with no cloud. The cloudy nights are dry. And the clear sky nights, it's all very wet. But of course now, well, you can see the patches of wet on the ground. But it quickly starts to dry. It quickly goes dry. But my phone was on 2% for the last hour and a half. And I'd desperately been waiting for the panels to get a bit of sun. Now this one, obviously, I won't know because it just goes into the battery there, into the power bank. I think you can see the power bank under there. Okay, so from this panel we got a cable, comes down, goes around the back there and in and under to this battery box. And from the battery box, excuse me, from the battery box we've got two cables go inside. The white one is a USB connector to charge phones and things. The black one is to a 12-volt light bulb. Now the mice climb over this cable and get in, which is why just inside the doorway there are a couple of traps.
3 hours later.
Okay guys, the last 5 minutes we've had a lot of fireworks going off. And Tina is particularly frightened. My phone was on charge and has been all day until now. It's about 2:05. And I had my phone on charge because it ran out of power entirely earlier. But look, she's shaking. She's shaking. It has been for about 10 minutes now, maybe 15. Okay, babe. Daddy's okay. Tina's okay. She doesn't like loud bangs and whole volleys of fireworks, especially ones at random on a fucking, what's this, a Thursday afternoon? What's that about? Seems pretty unannounced and unexpected. I don't know. She's shaking, poor thing. I've been cuddling her for 10-15 minutes, you know, since it started. But in the end I thought, hey, the phone's charged more or less enough. We're on 60%, 60, 62, something like that. I thought I would just document the fact that it happened. I didn't know it was going to stop just as I got the camera rolling, but hey, But she's still shaking at her belly, look. She's... Hey, babe. Tina's okay. Daddy's okay. Tina's okay. Hey. Hey. If we'd been outside, she would have run away. It's what she does when there are loud bangs. She either heads into a corner, like she kind of sort of is now. She has historically run into that corner over there, but it's difficult for her to get into. You see, I've changed the batteries in the clock. That was something I said the other day I was going to do. But historically, this corner was where she would have headed. But I got Christmas presents and yeah, it's all just piled up a little bit. And mouse traps, because yesterday we had the mice in here. Today not so much. I'm not sure if I accidentally let them out or if they're hanging tight in here somewhere through the day. In the night they were active. Little bastards were everywhere. I think they were on my bed at one point, which I'm really not happy about. Yeah. I'm not sure that I've let them get out, but they might have forced their way out or walked around the traps. If you see down here, I got various traps. These wires they use to get up. The bedroom has a kind of a 2 or 3 inch, what's that, 6, 7, 8 centimetre skirt around the bottom. But these wires from the solar panels from the battery pack give them a means in and out. So that's why the traps are up against the wires. It'd make the traps more difficult to trigger because they're not pressing down on a firm base. But hey, I try what I try. Haven't heard them through the day today. Yesterday they were all over the place, running around in the day. In the night they weren't as active, but they were here. They were here. I could hear them running around and jumping about. Not as bothered about the little ones, the mice. I'm not as bothered. Mice, yeah. When I hear something bigger going into the outside part, I'm more bothered. But we'll see. Well, this was about my girl and she was frightened. She was frightened. I cuddled her, I held her, I stroked her. And the danger passed. Hey girl. Hey babe. Daddy looks after his girl. Daddy looks after his girl. Okay folks, that's the story so far. Most of the day, I mean it's nice outside. But I was here, I'm sat here moving the panels around once an hour, once every hour and a half, and waiting for my phone to charge. Listening to the radio. Yeah, I don't know. That's the story of the day so far. I need to go shopping later. Let me... Okay. Wow, this lighting's really weird. It's nowhere near this orange inside, really. It's nowhere near this light inside, really. But okay. Gonna go shopping later. I'm starting to think about Christmas, because it's 2.5 weeks away. And I've got some baking ideas in mind. I had an idea of doing a baking program, a baking video every day for the Advent. But money and circumstance doesn't really allow it. But I've got some ideas. I've got some things I want to do between now and Christmas. I want to make some shortbread. I want to make some chocolate shortbread as a separate thing. I maybe want to do some pancakes one day. I feel like that's a thing. Eggnog is a thing. But I've got some things I want to cook, so I'm putting together a list of ingredients, and I'm going to go shopping this evening and get, maybe not all of them, because I'll either forget some or I'm trying to ration my money as well. You know, I got a little bit of cash, but I don't want to spend a whole lump now, especially because I bought the gas bottle at the beginning of this week. That was a big lump out of my out of the readies that I have in my hand. That was a big lump of money gone. So I don't want to go out and spend like 20 on spices, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, star anise, ginger, garlic powder, whatever. You know, all of the ones, all of the normal suspects. I probably need some cumin and some curry, a separate curry powder up. Just all of that. I got quite a selection of spices for a tramp. I'm trying to get away from using that word. I think YouTube are punishing me because that word, because of the they don't understand the nuance. They think that they see that word and think it's derogatory towards a female. Yeah. So I think it's not. Now I latched onto that word early on as like a homeless guy in Spain. I mean, hobo isn't really an English word. It's certainly not a Spanish word. I just calling myself a tramp. You know, I'm calling me it. I'm not being derogatory to anybody else. But I'm releasing videos that instead of getting 200 and 300 views, are getting 30, 40, 50 views. Even with like a 10% click-through rate. So they show them to 300 and I get 30 views and then they cut them off and it's like, whoa, 10% click-through. You should just go show that to 1 million people and let me have 100,000 views. No, not that good. They don't work that way. Anyway, I'm going shopping this afternoon stroke evening with Christmas in mind. So I'm thinking about what to buy. A set of spices is one thing. I'm also thinking in terms of, so like I was saying with the eggnog. Eggnog, you would add a dark spirit, a whiskey, a brandy, a dark rum, I don't know, whatever. And if you listen, if you don't do alcohol, that's fine. When I add alcohol to a recipe, you just don't, or you find an alternative. Good evening, folks. It is Thursday, about 5 to 6. Just got back from shopping. Here's one. So I made the mistake of going shopping with money in my pocket. That's always going to be a mistake, isn't it? Now let me be clear. I went out for a combination of things for this weekend and things for Christmas. Typically Thursday or Friday I might spend somewhere between 5 and 10 euros on the weekend or well, for the week really. But I expected to spend more this time because I was buying a few things for Christmas. I had in mind like a list of spices and some ingredients for eggnog, including the eggs, 24 of them. Not just for eggnog, but you know, for the next week or 3 or 4. But I had in mind that like, let's say that a normal shop might get as high as 10. I had in mind we might go as high as 20. And I kind of half knew I might exceed it by a little bit. So 2025, I thought. I spent 40. 40. 40. And then some. Like 41 or 42, I don't know. I'll have a look. We'll do a follow-up tomorrow. This is just my immediate reaction. I mean, I bought a lot of things that were on the list. And I didn't think the list was going to be sorted just this week. And I bought a couple of extra items. I almost bought a rabbit before anyone starts thinking about fluffy bunnies. No. This was for the pot, but it was like best part of €10, and that was more than that's more than a poor tramp can afford. So in the end, I spent about 5 on pieces, portions. So that's going to be tomorrow. I'm going to do a rabbit stew, barring other exigencies. Rabbit stew. Maybe a little bit light on carrots. I think I've got some celery left, and that might have gone off. I haven't. Other people have been bringing me food so regularly, I haven't looked in my own pot of things. I don't know what I've got. If I have to, I can just go with beans and chickpeas and potatoes. I don't know. Yeah, I'll manage. It'll be a bit ad hoc, but I'm a little bit taken aback that 20, maybe 25 turned into 40, 41, 42. I shouldn't have taken the money with me. I don't know, guys. I don't know how I feel on this one. Don't know. Shot of her ladyship doing the food thing, doing the eating thing. No, I've disturbed her. Tina's food. Tina's food. Eat your food. Good girl. There she goes. Sorry guys, I'm kind of chuntering because I'm just... I don't think I've done anything stupid. I think everything I've bought was on my list to buy either this week or next in the run up to Christmas. I've just left myself a little bit short by buying it all at once, I think. I've just surprised myself. Also surprised myself, I took one bag with me and I asked for two of the cheap, the flimsy bags that they charge 15 cents for nowadays. And I got it all into one bag. So I spent more on bags than I needed. That's another waste. Don't know. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Unless there's any stupid developments in the night, we'll have to make do with what we've got. My phone's on about 60 odd percent, 60 something percent. I think I managed to get 20 or 30% into the tablet. Had a little bit of a thing where, like, my phone can do the radio thing. You plug headphones in and they act as an antenna. And I wasn't getting any sound out from the phone, so I didn't think they were working. But then I tried Bluetooth and I'm getting radio out. So the headphones are working as an antenna to pick up radio, just no sound coming out along them, forcing me to use extra power for Bluetooth. That's, I don't know. That's just another one of those, isn't it? If I manage to get 60, 70, 80% worth of power out of the solar panel today, this one, if this managed 60, 70 plus % for the phone and the tablet, then I've got high hopes of the portable panels. Although I still think there's still some work to be done scraping the surfaces off. I don't know if you can see this. So from the right, you got like the light coloured, like the leather leaf, the leather cover that goes over them. Then you got the first two panels, and either side of the join there's kind of a white stripe. There's a little bit of that protective covering that's gone all white and flaky still on there. There's a little bit more work to be done to remove that, so we can get up to power. But I'm going to see tonight. I want to see how much. Let's say that I got the equivalent of about 80% of the phone's charge from the other panel. This is supposed to be similarly rated. They're both 10, 11, 12 watts, something like that, the panels. And they've been out in the sun the same amount of time all day, in similar situations. So I would expect, I don't think this is as good as the other one, but I would expect it to be able to put 30 or 40% into the phone if needed. Which I will take overnight and put an empty battery back out in the morning. I haven't looked at the forecast, but I might as well take the power while it's there. But that's the only other thing for today. It's been a day of just hanging around in camp, managing solar panels, keeping them pointed in the right direction, and yeah, going shopping, spending money I don't have, or well, spending money that I did have but now I don't. I guess that's the definition of spending, isn't it? Okay folks, from Her Ladyship, I don't know if you can see her, don't know how well I'm pointing that, but from Tina and from me, Delta Mike, out.